pleasure for me to be here, and thanks to all of you for being here and making this event such an exciting meeting. So I heard that many members of Astana Toastmasters are practicing running. As a sporty person, I'm happy to see that physical activity plays an important role in your life. And today I'm going to be surrounded with like-minded people. So I've been interested in sports since my childhood, and it became an integral part of my life. Despite this fact, I had no interest in running, and it continued until 2018 when I participated in a competition which called Nauru's Indoor Triathlon. And for those who don't know, triathlon is a sport that combines cycling, running, and swimming, and has particular features as these three disciplines are conducted in immediate succession to each other. So after that, I realized that I demonstrated the weakest result in running. As a result, it triggered me to improve my running skills. I took it seriously and started working hard. And now I can't imagine my life without running. In terms of benefits of doing sports, I never get tired of talking about that. Today, running for me more than just a workout. It's a mental, emotional boost that can help me to feel everything from energized to motivated and beyond. And it helps to become well-organized and disciplined person, and it increases my productivity and work efficiency. Through sport, you can understand your capabilities and your potential. For example, I understood that I'm not sprinter and more stayer because my warm-up lasts 4 or 5Ks. Normally after 8K, I get a second wind. And I have very good companion, Google podcast. Sometimes I'm so engrossed in listening interesting discussion and involved in it that I really don't notice how I run 8-9 kilometers. It's like killing two birds with one stone, running and at the same time acquiring a new knowledge. So I would say that running is a very inexpensive sport compared to almost other sport. What is important that you should have running shoes which prevent you from getting foot injury. You can run whenever you want, wherever you want. And also I love running when I have unsolved problems or some things that I need to sort out. While you're running, you have enough time to think thoroughly, analyze everything what you need, and by the end of your training session, you get a solution. The same things you can't do at the gym because you should think about your techniques and you should count your attempts. To be honest, I really love running outside for many reasons. First of all, it develops your attentiveness. You become more attentive for everything what's happening around. While studying in London, I've learned and developed a very good habit to run in any weather conditions. I downloaded Runkeeper in the middle of January. Runkeeper is a special app, probably you know, that tracks your any sport activity. So recently I've got my result that from January to August, I ran 1,000 kilometers. So 1,000 kilometers, it sounds impossible, unachievable, but you know that every long journey starts from small step. And you should leave your comfort zone and just act now, because it's everything what you do is for your betterment. And in addition to this, our uni encourage us students to stay active all year round. King's College London created a special app that rewards you for being active. Whether you're walking, cycling, running, or doing any sport activity, you can then redeem your points for rewards such as King's Food, hot drink, or King's Sport Gym Day Pass, or King's Move hoodie. And it's completely free to join. And by the way, I got this, if you can see, sweatshirt by being active. This is a sweatshirt with the logo of our university, King's College London. So I think it's a very interesting practice which we can use and apply in our universities in Kazakhstan. On my Instagram, I do organize live stream with very interesting people, and last time we had a great conversation with a digital media expert, Mark Flashman, who has accumulated rich theoretical and practical experience and knowledge in different industries. So the main takeaway from that interview, Mark Flashman said, don't afraid making mistakes. Don't afraid to experiment. Be open for new knowledge, and always try to celebrate even your small achievements. I've decided to convey that message to you. My pieces of advice would be, first of all, set a goal. For example, my next goal is run a full marathon. Of course, it might be challenging and sounds very tough, but I do believe that human potential limitless. You shouldn't block yourself and your abilities, and everything is possible. If someone did it, you will nail it. And secondly, find a sport activity that suits you personally. It shouldn't be necessarily jogging or running. If you're gonna run, don't forget to get running shoes. Don't ignore this fact, because you should take yourself. And if you have running buddies, it would be great. So I've decided to keep my speech very short and simple. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Indira. That was inspiring and very in line with our interests of our club, because I think about 50% of our club members are big runners. So
okay, nice.
too much. And now we have Q&A sessions, guys. So let me kick it off with a few questions that I actually already wrote here. But Indira, do you have a Strava account? It's like the application where you log your runs, because I think it will be a great way for us to keep up with you and shared experiences, because we have several people who are running.
Okay. So I mentioned, as I mentioned before, I use Runkeeper, but I can throw up my app.
Yes, because, well, okay, that just Strava is quite good for runners. Thank you, thank you. So does anybody else have any questions? Feel free, unmute your mics and ask more questions, not only about the speech in general, about Indira, if you're curious about her life and herself as well. So Almas, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question concerning Indira's karate experience. Was it like from childhood? Because I wanted to do karate also, but we didn't have such like section. But now I want to do some Aikido or Judo. Jiu-jitsu or Aikido. So could you please share your experience about this karate? Was it like from childhood or started like now in adult life?
So thank you very much, Almas, for this interesting question. Actually, I used to do karate in my teens. It was a great experience. Because of that, now I'm in my profession. In 2016, I won in a competition which was organized in Almaty. It was a Cup of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and I won 5 gold medals. And after that, I was invited for interview for local TV channel. And immediately after that interview, I was get an offer to be a TV presenter on that TV channel. Yeah, it's kind of like my profession related to my sport background. And now I'm in a media industry because of that sport experience, I guess. But I think anyway, martial arts is so good and beneficial for you in many ways. Just if you have a desire to do it, just do it.
May I ask a question? Firstly, you already answered to my first question about how you get this job in TV. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, thank you. And my second question, you mentioned that you studied in London, and
Yeah.
may I ask your major, what you studied? It was connected with the social media, or is another profession?
So I'm a Bolashak scholarship holder, and I studied in King's College London, one of the top universities in the world. I pursued MA in digital asset and media management. It's like a very interesting specialty which combines theory and practice, and I've learned a lot, and it was very good experience. I broadened my horizon, and it was very enlightening, informative, and very good sabbatical, because I took a sabbatical and went to London, and after my graduation I came back to Kazakhstan. Yeah.
So you decided to study there after you got the job in TV?
Yeah, I've been working from the age of 16. Yeah, I already had 14 years of experience in media industry. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'd also like to ask
I
a
have
question.
wait.
It's also related to your experience in UK. And actually, I want to ask you about the difference in how people, I don't know if there's such a thing as a running culture between the countries in UK and in Kazakhstan. How differently people approach running, or the whole, how differently they treat running as their part of their lives. Or is there any differences that you have noticed between running in UK and running in Kazakhstan?
Thank you very much, Azamat. It's a very good question. As I mentioned in my speech, I've learned something that I've learned in the UK is to run in any kind of weather, bad weather conditions. So it's very contagious. They love to do sport. I think despite their age, youngsters, senior citizens, all people do different kind of activities, and it's so contagious. It's so motivational that you started to join them, and they inspired you every day, despite any weather conditions. It's rainy day or snow outside. I just wear my shoes and went out and do my running activity every single day. Even during the Ramadan, while I was fasting, I also ran 7K every day. Yeah.
Wow. Fatma, you had the question?
Thank you, Indira, for sharing your experience. I have a question. You mentioned about running a full marathon. Do you have any favorite movies to suggest? I mean, I have a list of movies. After watching it, I'm so motivated to run a full marathon, like, for example, Patriots Day or Bethany Runs Marathon, such like movies. Do you have some list of movies to recommend me to watch? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't have a favorite list of movies, but I have a great source of motivation. It's my father. He's great marathon runner. He participated in different kind of sport events. He's in the age of 61 and he's still running, and he participated in Ironman, you know. Many of you, yeah, it can imagine that it requires stamina. It requires hard work, but despite his age, he still continued to doing, and he's a great motivation for me. And I guess my father, he's a role model for me, and I'm just following him, and always his achievements and accomplishments inspire me to do something better and set new goals. And I guess this year I'm gonna run full marathon. Yeah.
Cool. I have a question. I'm just very curious for you being the chief editor of the
QAZSPORT TV channel, yeah.
Yeah. And can you tell us what's the most interesting and exciting thing that you think you do, and what's the most difficult part of the job?
I think when you love what you do, you are blinded for all challenges and tough parts of any work. I love what I do, and we have a great team. We support each other all the time. We have certain editors. My main task here in distributing different tasks to among them and assign them to different kind of broadcast events and doing shooting, filming, editing. It's so interesting. And I think that I'm so engrossed with that work that even now I'm at work, to be honest. And I love what I do. That's why I can work at the weekend, and I can sleep. Lack of sleep also always accompanied my work, because I try to wear many hats at the same time and having my finger in every single task, in every single project. So that's why I think especially this week we have a very busy week, because many sport events are recovering from COVID-19, and we are, you know, that all sports events are organized without spectators, with in a just participation of our shooting crew. That's why we should provide very good quality broadcasting for all sport lovers, and in order to make sure that they will be able to watch whatever they want on our TV channel. So yeah, that's it.
That's so cool. And just one more question. I'm curious, if somebody wants to follow the career in TV and sports related TV, what kind of advice could you give them to, in our country, how can they get into that area?
So can you repeat it again? I didn't get a point.
So just to follow into your footsteps and follow your career of being in TV and in sports channels, being an editor, reporter, how can they start to get into that area?
Oh, okay. It's a very good question. Thank you very much, Asel. I think there is no beaten track or beaten path and unique method to get on TV. Just be open-minded for everything what's happening around. If you want to work for certain TV channel, you should just follow them on social media to see that which kind of vacancy or job titles, the job positions that organization can offer. Or you should be very open-minded and keep your eyes and communicate with everyone, try to establish the contacts with people who work for that organization, and you will get a chance being noticed by someone. Just try to stand out from the crowd. I think this is very important, and always do something to improve self-studying. There are many opportunities right now on the internet. There are many interesting courses for those who would like to develop themselves in a media industry. Just check it. There are many opportunities, window of opportunities. Just check it and use any chance to show the world that you exist and you are really deserve that position.
Wow, that's quite inspirational. Thank you so much. Do we have any more questions from the audience?
Yeah, I have one question. Most of some sportsmen runners, they might get sports injuries. How they can recover from that, and again they can participate in marathon? Actually, I introduced myself. I am Martesh from India. I have participated 10K marathon, Trump marathon in India. I want answer for that.
Martesh, sorry, I do apologize, but can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, some sportsmen, they might get sports injuries. Once they get, they will not again participate in the running or marathon. How they can recover from that, and again they can participate in that? Is there any clubs to recover the sports injuries?
So I see,
Yeah,
I have some, I guess, technical issues, but I didn't get the question.
So Martesh was asking what kind of tips you have on recovering from sports injuries.
Oh, recovering, you mean, I think after doing any sport activity, you should cool down. If you do, prior to your training session, you do warm up. After your training session, you should do cool down. It helps you to prevent any injury, and this is very important. Do not ignore, and do not like ignore, and sometimes we have become lazy and just close our eyes to some things, but essential things, yeah. I think it's warming up and cooling down after any workout, gym session is very important.
Okay, thank you, Indira. Thank you, Martesh, for asking questions.
Martesh, thank you very much for your question.
So unfortunately, our Q&A session is up. We'll take a 1-minute break for those of you who want to